please take a seat. All right, music off. Please welcome today's candidate forum moderator, Elizabeth Mendenhall.
Hello. Hi. Welcome, everybody. If we can kind of get you guys to fill in your seats, we will get started with our National Directors Candidate Forum right now. So good afternoon. I am honored to serve as the moderator for this afternoon's Candidates Forum. The purpose of this forum is to publicly engage the candidates for Missouri Realtors National Director and their views to educate members and help them reach their own informed decision and to promote member participation and strengthening involvement with the leadership process. The design of this forum will be fair, impartial, and clear for everyone involved. Anticipating 2 vacancies, all state directors will be eligible to vote for 2 candidates during tomorrow morning's Board of Directors meeting. So let's get to know our candidates for NAR Director. Please join me on the stage as I read your name. Matt Becker from St. Charles. You can either take the first seat or the last one and we'll fill in. Okay. Katie Berry from St. Louis. Justin Farrell from Bagnell Dam. Jim Gamble from Kansas City. Isabel Jimenez Walker from Greater Springfield. And Kayla Johnson from St. Louis. Okay.
Should we sit?
You all may have a seat, yes. And we'll probably ask that you stay seated as you answer your questions. That sounds good, okay? Each candidate will have 90 seconds to share an opening statement. Following the opening statements, I will ask that our candidates predetermined questions. Each candidate will have 60 seconds to comment or respond. Jessie is our timekeeper. Jessie, raise your hand again. You'll see her right there in the red jacket on the front row. Thank you. To conclude our forum, each candidate will have 90 seconds also to share a closing statement. So we will get started. We're going to go in alphabetical order for the opening statements. We'll go in the reverse order for the closing statements. And so Matt, please start.
Hi, everybody. My name is Matt Becker. Like Elizabeth said, from St. Charles. I'm probably the latest to the game in getting involved. And so I was really proud as I was putting my resume together, and then these guys started sending theirs out, and I was like, well, crap, there goes that. So I got involved in 2018 is when I really started my journey in being involved with the local association. And then in 2019, I got to become a state director and become more involved up here. And it's just been amazing. What I get to do and the people I get to meet and the people we get to represent, it's the best thing ever. And that's one of the reasons that I'm running for this position. And also, my resume may not be as long as some of these guys. I've been a local president. I was our president last year at St. Charles. And the one thing I can tell you is that I will work as hard as possible to represent everybody in this room. I have always been a hard worker. This is probably the first time in my life I've only had one job. I've always had multiple jobs, and I started in this industry as a dual career agent. I was a civilian employee for the Missouri State Highway Patrol for almost 13 years in their intelligence division. And being able to focus solely on real estate and what goes into the business side of real estate has just been absolutely amazing. So I'm so honored to be up here, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Matt. Next, Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie Berry. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, and before real estate, I was a high school teacher. I taught at a local Catholic school. In fact, when the Attorney General was up here speaking about that scary courthouse he worked in with, he needed a bulletproof vests and stuff, I turned to the folks next to me and said, that was across the street from where I taught. But so I love Missouri. I'm a 6th generation Missourian, and I love teaching. I love spreading news and information to people. And I just finished up my term as president of St. Louis Realtors. I loved being a national director as a St. Louis Realtor president, and am currently serving on the Issues Mobilization Committee. One thing I've loved on that committee with NAR is being able to help bring funds back to Missouri. We have brought over $250,000 this year alone back to Missouri through state and local issues mobilization grants from NAR. So I think that's something we all need to be proud of, and I want to keep making sure that Missouri is at the forefront of people's minds so that we can get the resources we need to thrive. That is money that is going to help make schools safer, to make education, kids have better educations, and it has gone to make housing more affordable and accessible for people in our communities. So that is something I'm passionate about, and I hope to continue to just make Missouri Realtors and real estate in Missouri better. Oh, I get a stop sign.
Thank you, Katie. Justin.
My name is Justin Farrell, and I'm a 2nd-generation realtor. I work with my family, very blessed to do that. My father, my mother, my brother, my sister, and of course, I'm the baby of the family. It has been an absolute joy. I was licensed in 2007 when the market was getting really good. And my mother was my driving force. She told me, you have to get involved. You have to. And I didn't know what I didn't know until the wool was pulled off from over my eyes. And so I wish everybody was as blessed to have a mother like I've got. And she has driven me. And through that, the education and knowledge that I've gained, I've realized it's time for me to take the next step. I've been through the Leadership Academy in my local Camden County leadership. If you haven't taken the state leadership, please, God, do it. Do it now. Do it as quickly as you possibly can. And all these things have brought me to the conclusion that I really, really want to be an NAR director. I didn't send out a resume. My list of accomplishments and accolades do not matter. What matters is what you want. And so I didn't send that out because I don't want this to be about me. I want it to be about you, and I want to serve you to the best of my ability. Thank you.
Thank you. Jim.
Good afternoon. My name is Jim Gamble, and I'm from Kansas City. I've been a realtor a long time, 36 years. Started about a year after college. And part of my success has been my leadership journey. And I've always believed that if you give back, you get back. And that is in my blood. I continue to serve at the local level. The Missouri Realtors, you are my family, as are many of those that I've met over the years at NAR. I've had the privilege of serving you as your state president. I've had the privilege of serving you as your NAR regional vice president. But I've never been elected by you to be an NAR director. And so today, that is my goal, is to have you continue your trust in me and let me serve you, let me be your fiduciary at NAR. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Isabel.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Isabel Jimenez Walker, and I'm from the Greater Springfield Board of Realtors. I've been licensed since 1994, and I became involved on the local level with my board and Women's Council in 1997. And one of my highlights is that I've been involved with Realtors Helping People since 1997. That is a 501c3 in our city. And I've been involved with Missouri Realtors since 2001 when I first became a state director. And I love serving, I love volunteering, and a couple of highlights on the local level is I was MLS president in 2018, and I served 3 years on my regional MLS. And while I was serving there, I became on the task force for input forms. And we were updating and making compliant our input forms, but on the way we started to work on accessibility features. So that was one of the things that I am proud of that we were able to do with our MLS. And I'm currently a state director. I'm immediate past president for diversity and inclusion. I'm a landing ambassador, update your bios. And I've been on professional standards committee since 2015. And I'm currently treasurer for Missouri Realtors Educational Foundation, and I have to stop.
Thank you, Isabel. And Kayla.
Well, hey, y'all. I'm Kayla Johnson from St. Louis Realtors. And I want to take a tip from past President John Mayfield and just tell you my story. And I got involved with Missouri Realtors in 2020 when the world was falling apart and y'all didn't have toilet paper. And I remember going to my first Realtor conference and looking out in the crowd and seeing underrepresentation for the youth in the group and other Black Realtors. And it springboarded this 3-year crusade of making sure that voices are heard, and y'all got to know me a little bit better, but understanding that there's a part of Missouri that needs to be represented in property rights and home ownership for any and everybody. So in these past 3 years, I've grown that resume that Justin told me not to mention, but because of that, I want you to know that I'm dedicated and hardworking and want to keep working on behalf of Missouri Realtors. So the next step is going all the way, baby, and going to national and advocating for Missouri Realtors and advocating for private property rights. So today and tomorrow, I'm asking for your support, but more importantly, I'm asking for your vote. So please consider voting for me tomorrow at Board of Directors. Thank you.
Thank you, Kayla. We'll now move into 4 of our predetermined questions. With the time allotted, each of you will answer 2. And so I'll call on you as we go. Hang with me here. We have about 60 seconds for our questions. And we're going to start with Matt. The first is, can you give us an example of a time when you served in a leadership role, perhaps locally, where events required you to step up and guide the group in a new direction?
When I saw this question, I thought it was written just for me. I was super excited. So I started, I ran for a director position on my board in 2020, and my term started in January of 2021. And our board was in a little bit of turmoil. Within the first 4 meetings, our treasurer resigned, our president-elect resigned, and another board member resigned. We were also in the process of removing our AE, and trying to find someone else to take that position. And so I was at a loss when I was in there because everybody on that board was my friend, but things weren't working, and that was obvious with everybody resigning. I went home. I'm a father and a husband first and foremost, and it was beyond stressful. I had to make a decision, though, to step up. And after those resignations happened, our current president reached out and asked if I would be interested in filling the president-elect spot of this craziness. And I accepted and brought our board together because of that.
Thank you, Matt. Justin, same question to you. Can you give us an example of a time when you served in a leadership role, perhaps locally, where events required you to step up and guide the group in a new direction?
You said me,
Justin.
right? Okay.
Thanks.
There are a few instances that come to mind. At one point in time, anybody that doesn't know, we do have 2 boards at the Lake of the Ozarks. And myself and the president at that time, who's here sitting in front of me, we had a long discussion about joining the boards together and having communication and maybe forming one board. And when she and I talked and other people talked about it, we actually found out that it probably wasn't in the best interest of our 2 boards to align into one. So instead of aligning and joining, we decided to do it a different way. And instead of becoming one board, we figured out ways to make things work to better serve our members. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. Isabella, the same question to you. Would you like me to repeat it? Got it? Okay.
So in 2012, I was president-elect of my local women's council chapter, and the president had resigned because her husband had received a job offer in another city, and they had to leave within 30 days. But not only did that happen, my membership director moved to the West Coast at the same time. My marketing director took on another job. And my secretary quit because she was friends with the president and felt lost. And so it just me and my treasurer, and I happened to be that in August we were having the National Women's Council Leadership Academy in Chicago. So I was able to attend that and come back with a plan and be able to put a slate of officers together to where we can continue on with our leadership and not miss a beat. And with the help of the membership, that was a great thing, and I just really valued how I got through that.
Super, thank you. The second question will go to Katie. As a state association, we have really embraced emerging issues over the past few years with our new forum at each business conference. Thinking about the National Association and the role you would have as a national director, what is one issue do you think NAR should be more focused on that impacts the largest number of members?
Thanks. So blockchain is something that I think that we really could do some more education on. It's looking into the future and really understanding what that means and how to utilize it. I know that is something that I need more education on. Maybe that's why I think we all probably do. But so including that technology and understanding of how it's going to serve our clients so that we can embrace it and run with it and be the best professionals we can be is something that I would like NAR to kind of put. I know it hasn't happened yet, but I always like to be prepared, right? For the best or the worst. So I know what I'm doing next. So that's my answer.
Thank you. Jim, the same question to you. As a state association, we have embraced the emerging issues over the past few years. Thinking about NAR and your role that you would have as a director, what is one issue NAR should be more focused on that impacts the largest number of members?
I think the answer is professionalism, and let me dig into that a little bit. As you all know, we have some lawsuits that we're facing. A class action one in Kansas City that talks about potentially decoupling by our agency and making it more difficult for us to cooperate with one another and be paid through cooperation. I think that NAR, I think we need to do a better job of making sure that agents know how to articulate their value. We need to let the consumers know that we don't work for free. We have value. We have value as buyer's agents, and we have value as listing agents. And we have to do a better job of articulating that so outside forces don't come and attack our industry as they are doing right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Kayla, the same question to you. So what role as an NAR director is one issue you think NAR should be more focused on that impacts the largest number of members?
I believe technology and innovative change to our industry is happening to us very quickly. And what I mean by that is like artificial intelligence, AI. And that is daunting for some people when they hear it, and it is changing the game. And if we offered workshops, more affordable education towards the new things that are coming at us and that are on your phone, or how to make your business run better, if NAR really just focused on educating everybody, we'd have an opportunity to really help our members succeed and streamline their business more effectively through automation and artificial intelligence. Thanks.
Thank you. We will start with Justin with the third question. We know that each of you are qualified, dedicated, and willing to serve. What was the driving force or passion behind your decision to submit your application for this important role?
Thank you. The driving force. So, anybody that I haven't talked to right now, you all haven't had the opportunity to talk to me, and I apologize if I'm stumbling over this because I'm on stage with bright lights and somebody that's giving me a stop sign and everything else. NAR is an absolutely phenomenal organization. 1.5, 1.6 million members, all paying dues. We got a lot of money. We got a lot of people that work for us. We got a lot of great things. However, I am a small government person, not a big government person. Nothing is scarier to me in the entire world than the federal government showing up and saying, hey, we're with the government. We're here to help. NAR should empower us, not tell us. I've seen things that have happened through NAR. And yes, Katie is absolutely correct with the amount of money that we've been able to receive in Missouri. Those are all great things. But you shouldn't be forced to do something because other people in other states think that that's the way business should work. Real estate is local. The way you sell real estate in St. Louis is not the way I sell real estate at the Lake of the Ozarks. Nate Johnson, sorry if I'm picking on you. That man wears a suit to work every single day. That would look really weird on me. So that was the driving force. And I apologize, but I got a stop sign.
Thank you. Katie, the same question to you. We know that you're qualified, dedicated, and willing to serve. What is your driving force or passion behind your decision to submit your application for this role?
Elizabeth. Teddy. Teddy is my 8-year-old. And Teddy has had some struggles. Sorry. Moms is getting emotional. Teddy has some struggles. Teddy is on the autism spectrum. And it has been hard. And he's doing well. He's reading above grade level, and he has so many friends, and he has a bright future ahead of him. And I want our children to tomorrow have the ability to buy homes, have their private property rights protected, and I think everybody, without regard to race, religion, or disability, should be able to buy a home. I want to make sure we have accessible, affordable housing for that dream of home ownership for everybody, for our future, for our children. So Teddy is why I run.
Thanks, Katie. Matt, to you, what was your driving force or passion to submit your application for this role?
So I've been blessed by this industry, as most of us have, and I feel like there's an obligation to pay that back. And part of that obligation is this group of people sitting in front of me. My first NAR conference that I went to was when Elizabeth was president. And to watch somebody from Missouri lead NAR the way that she did and how impactful that was, and now to be sitting up here on stage getting questions from her, it's just surreal. So I'm running because of you guys. I'm running because I see the passion that all of you have. You all show up for these meetings. You all show up every day. We have an amazing voice in Missouri, and I want to make sure that that voice from Missouri is heard loud and clear at NAR.
Thank you, Matt. Our fourth question is to Kayla. You've served as a state director before. How would your service as an NAR director be different, or would it?
Short answer, no, it wouldn't be different. Y'all see me every day with all the energy and passion and drive, and I would do the same thing at the national level. I already do that at the national level. I am a federal political coordinator, and I'm on NAR's Housing Opportunities Committee, where I have the opportunity to be influential in those rooms. And I want to influence on behalf of Missouri realtors so they understand what our mission is, what our goal is. So no, I wouldn't change a thing. I might not wear heels as much because it's hard to walk around those conferences, but that's about it. I changed the wardrobe. Thank you.
Thanks, Kayla. Isabel, same question to you. You've served as a state director. How would your service as an NAR director be different, or would it?
I would see it as being different, like comparing a car to an RV. You still have the same responsibilities, but it's the bigger, with the NAR, you have the whole country, you have the international countries, you have over 80 committees and forums to participate in. And I love the energy of going there and networking and meeting people and learning, having so much information available to you. And I believe that we should have all that information available to us so we can make the best informed decisions that we can for our state and our industry. And I participate on the Missouri caucus and the regional caucus to also get that feedback from those members and share what I've learned also. And so, yes, I see the responsibility being a little bit bigger on the national level.
Thank you. Jim, same question to you. How would your service as an NAR director be different, or would it?
I think it would be different. I've had the pleasure of being an NAR director as past president of the Missouri Realtors. NAR is fluid. The issues today were different than the issues 5 years ago. The people today are different than the people 10 years ago. So it's an evolving entity, NAR is. I've had the privilege of serving for 5 years on federal disbursements. And it's from that committee and that time that made me think about my button and how red and blue makes purple, and we are a purple party. And it's my goal to serve in that capacity for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. That will conclude our question portion of the forum. Our candidates have certainly taken their time to be here. I know we're a little behind. I would ask that all of you try to stay in the room and support them with their closing remarks so you can hear what they have to say. It's 90 seconds each. We'll be in reverse alphabetical order this time. So Kayla, we will start with you.
So you might have all seen me with my prepared remarks and studying how to address you today, and I threw all that out the window. I love representing Missouri Realtors. I love being a realtor. I love our industry, and I love where we're headed. You know, if you've ever had a chance to look at NAR's strategic plan, it talks about engaging with the next generation of realtors. I kind of fit that bill. I don't know if any of y'all know how old I am, but I want that opportunity, and Missouri Realtors has that opportunity to be at the forefront of that. You've seen me represent young professionals, but I can do more than just represent young professionals. I can represent all of us. So again, I'm asking for your support, and I'm kind of like demanding your vote at this point. You don't have to, but I'm gonna nudge you a little bit. So again, I love representing you all, and I hope you vote for me tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Kayla. Isabel.
So I got involved by somebody tapping on my shoulder and saying, I see potential in you. And I've had many mentors over the years that have helped and guide me up. And so this, has been my giving back. Everything that I do on the local, state, and national level is given back for what was given to me. And I see people, I see members, a lot of members, they just don't feel, well, I'm not sure if I'm good at this. And it takes us, tapping them on the shoulder also and help bringing them up, for our future. And I really love being involved with the committees that I'm on, and traveling and meeting all sorts of people across the country. And I know that I work hard and be involved and give 100% of what I do. And, I'm Isabel Jimenez Walker. I ask for your vote because I care and I will work hard for you.
Thank you, Isabel. Jim.
I got a text today from a past client. They wanted a somebody that could do a small concrete job. And the reason why they called me or texted me was because I'm a resource to them. And every one of you wants to be that resource to your clients, right? Because I got a guy. I've got a person. They're all in my phone. And so this is no different. I look at every one of you as a client or a customer. And I'm going to be at NAR for you. My phone is going to be available to you. And when you need something or when you have a question or a concern that relates to NAR, you're going to call me. And guess what? I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to handle that for you because I will be representing each and every one of you. With that, I really appreciate your confidence in me and your vote tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Justin.
Being a legacy in real estate is actually quite difficult, in my opinion. A lot of people think it's easier because your parents just hand it to you. It was interesting in '07, my mother told me, actually, you don't get any floor duty. You're going to sit in that little cubicle right there, and you're going to get off your butt and go out and earn every single piece of business you get. Greatest broker I ever could have had because she taught me the value of hard work. Then she brought me to the state association, and I found something that I didn't realize I need, which was an extended family. I have always fought for this group. 14 years of servitude at this level, and I've enjoyed every second of it. I want to serve all of us, not me, not you, all of us at the national level. There are things that we need to accomplish together. I don't have all the answers, and trust me, I'm not always right because my wife tells me that every day. But together, we can do this. We can protect our industry. We can protect our state. Again, real estate is local. NAR should enable and support us, not tell us what to do. Somebody up there's got to say, wait a minute, is this really a national issue or is it a state and local issue? I ask for your support. If you would like to vote for me, thank you. And if you don't, I still love you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. Katie.
So earlier I spoke about the monetary resources we've been able to bring back to our state, but those aren't the only types of resources that are really important. Another very important type of resource is knowledge and connections. And serving on that same committee of state and issues mobilization, I've been hearing from other local and state associations about the issues they are facing and how they are fighting them, how they are fighting rent control, how they are fighting attacks on short-term rentals. On the flip side, I've been hearing about things they've been doing proactively to make sure that housing remains affordable and accessible for their home ownerships, for homeowners, millennials, and all kinds of people in their communities. And so I am excited to be able to be your bridge to that knowledge, to NAR, to bring that back and help you all when you have things you're working on and challenges you are facing, because we are facing challenges in our industry today that we never have before, from the lawsuits that we face to affordability and inventory shortages. So I ask for your vote and for you to trust me to help protect private property rights. So please vote for me, Katie Berry, for NAR Director for today, for tomorrow, and for your future.
Thank you, Katie. And Matt.
So I really want your vote tomorrow. No lie about that. But I have already won since I threw my name in the hat. I've talked to so many of you on the phone. I've met so many of you here this week that I didn't know before. And so for me, that's a win. Again, I'm the newer guy to this group. And so to get to know all of you guys has just been absolutely amazing. But what I want to do is exactly what I did when we found ourselves in a weird position with our board. So I want to listen. I want to listen to what you need at your board, to what you need in your region, to what your clients need, and be able to relay that information back. That's the biggest thing that I think we need to do, is making sure that when there is a need that's out there, we fill it. And that's what we do as realtors all the time. I had the privilege of working with Katie when we had floods in our area to give out grant money to people. And it was awesome to be able to work side by side with another president, another person in our state, and be able to give that information and give those resources to our communities. So I want to be a resource to you. I want to be able to listen. I want to take your voice to NAR. My name's Matt Becker. I'd love your vote tomorrow.
Thank you, Matt. It is always a delight to hear from our members with their wisdom, their thoughtfulness, and certainly we need to give them a big congratulations for their willingness to serve and represent us. Thank you very much, candidates. No matter what happens tomorrow, we will be well served. That concludes our forum. Thank you all.